Hi John, it's the Ukraine Recovery Conference next week in London. What are your fears ahead of Wednesday and Thursday?
Right, we all support the whole concept of ensuring that there's the reconstruction of Ukraine that we can support, both in terms of the UK, working with Ukrainians across Europe and into the US as well. That's the first point. Yes, of course, we support this. But what I'm concerned about is that reconstruction will be based upon neoliberal principles where the private sector are looking to maximize their profits. They're extracting resources from Ukraine. And again, instead of being for the benefit of the people of Ukraine and the workers, in particular working class communities, it will be more exploitation. So that's why we're trying to ensure that we present an alternative, supporting our Ukrainian brothers and sisters in the labour and trade union movement out there.
That's great. What can progressives, democratically minded people in the UK do about this? How should they be thinking about the recovery?
What we need people to do here is to work, for example, through organisations like the Ukraine Solidarity Campaign, where we're working with Ukrainians, socialists and trade unionists, identifying what their ideas are for the sort of reconstruction that they want, and then what role we can play. But that means ensuring that we do not allow the exploitative role, for example, of the City of London in terms of how they control finances going into Ukraine, to make sure our government is not using it as another opportunity to spread their political ideas, particularly about the undermining of trade union rights and the way in which, as in this country, what they've tried to do is ensure corporations can maximise their profits on the backs of the workers themselves. So there's a huge role that we can play here, working in solidarity and support.
At openDemocracy, we've covered a lot of the reconstruction issues, the destruction of workers' rights, the cutbacks on social dialogue, the attacks on trade union property, and the role of Ukrainian working class and workers in trying to resist that at the same time as obviously resisting the much greater threat of Russian imperialism. Next week, we're launching a crowdfund to support openDemocracy's work in this area in collaboration with Ukrainian trade unionists, journalists, activists, and so on. Why should our readers support this crowdfunder?
openDemocracy has been one of the fundamentally important access routes for information on what's happening in Ukraine, and also the role of this government in the UK with regard to Ukraine. I found it to be the most valuable, objective source of information. So I urge people to help with this initiative, help with the crowdfunding, because we need this sort of level of information to ensure that we have the proper debates about Ukraine here.